Hello, everyone. As you can see, I am back from my trip super early. And, well, all I can say is that I got a really nice tour of the state of Alabama, which I'm beginning to loathe because it takes so long to get through the state of Alabama. Um, most of the drive is driving through the state of Alabama in order to get to Florida. Um, but when we got, as some of you know, I was going to take a vacation this week to Universal Studios, and which is a trip that we had planned for over a year, actually. But when we got to northern Florida, we looked at the forecast, and it had changed because we had thought that it was just going to rain this week. But then the forecast said that there was going to in fact, be a hurricane, which was going to basically target Orlando specifically, and it was for that reason that the decision was made to turn back. Now, if it, which was very disappointing. I mean, I can tell you this is the worst vacation that I've ever been on in my life. It was very disheartening, soul crushing even. It wouldn't have been as bad if we had rescheduled before we left, but no, but no, we had to turn back when we were just 4 hours from our destination, and we've never had to do that on a trip before, and it kind of reminded me somewhat of the film Vacation, if some of you have seen it, where Chevy Chase, where they make it to Wally World and then it's closed, and then he goes insane and says, "Open the park," and and uh, and he harasses, the one of the guards to opening the park. And that's how I felt, because there's a part of me that was like, let's just go, let's rough it out, even if, because we were worried that perhaps because we were supposed to be there Monday through Thursday, but there was supposed to be a storm. The storm was supposed to come in Tuesday night and would be active Wednesday and Thursday. And we were worried about getting trapped in the room, or the power going out or something like that. And I was so desperate, though, because we were already so close that I almost wanted to go for it. Not so much out of rationality, but just out of pure desperation. But of course, I was shot down, and we had to turn back, because ultimately it was my father's decision, not mine. And but no, it was just so disappointing, and definitely the worst vacation that I've ever been on. Probably worse, at least from my standpoint, not from his standpoint, than when my father got a kidney stone in Niagara Falls, and then he had to go to a hospital on the way back. But no, then we, of course, had to go back. We stayed at a hotel in northern Florida overnight, and then we drove back today, early this morning. The long drive back, and the only consolation was we stopped at Opry Mills, which is a large mall, probably one of the largest in the country, in Nashville, Tennessee, on the way home. And then we ate at the Rainforest Cafe, and I got this large dessert, 2,500 calories of brownie and ice cream, and just to kind of drown my sorrows. And so basically, we we traveled this whole trip and suffered through so much just to end up at a shopping mall, and which I'm not even a huge fan of shopping malls. It was mainly for other people, and it was so disheartening, especially to see my niece cry, because this trip was mainly for my niece and nephew, and it was me, my niece and nephew, and my parents and one of my sisters, and it was mainly to get them away from their parents, who can sometimes bicker on vacation. But now, of course, we've rescheduled. I mean, we haven't yet, but we're probably going to reschedule for April, to take this trip in April. And but of course, what was really unfortunate is that my father rented this SUV, this large SUV with all this space, and he fought really hard to get it. but then, but now he's going to have to return it, super early. And the next time, my other sister, my niece and nephew's mother, is probably going to go along with us, and we're probably going to take two vehicles. So it was also a waste to have this nice vehicle with all this room, um, only for it to go to waste. And now we're not going to get to use that again, even if we do take another trip. So hopefully we can reschedule for April. I'm going to be going on another trip to Florida before that in December. That's just going to be a beach vacation, very laid back. But yeah, this was so disheartening. It almost feels like a nightmare, like something that isn't even real, like something I'm going to wake up from. But it is real, unfortunately, and I'm so tired, and I'm hoping to get some rest tonight, because it's been nothing but travel for the last few days. Essentially, it was a vacation where I suffered all of the negative aspects of travel with none of the payoff. That essentially sums up my vacation the last 2 days.